Hey guys, and welcome back to another YouTube video. In this video I'll be going through the West Coast vs St Kilda game, going through who went well, who didn't go so well, and how this game pretty much made my round into a really positive round, mostly because I hit on a, obscure captain, and pretty much all my guys that were on field did really well. And I guess it was just a fun game to watch because West Coast were ahead. I knew that St Kilda would come back, but I think most of Australia was just hoping the West Coast were actually going to put up a competitive fight, and they did. So before we get into the video, remember to like and subscribe, turn the notification bell on so you know when I upload, and let's get into the video. So as you can see here, Hearn 133, the second top scorer for the game, and just off the back of a huge second quarter, 50 points, he just started to just take mark after mark after mark, and yeah, just ridiculous game for him. But he's not really, him and Witherden here, as you can see, not really that relevant, as you can see by there, 0.5 and 0.8% owned. Williams, the ruckman, ended up with a 1-2-1, that's crazy. And he had a 103 at three-quarter time. He was pretty good, actually. And it begs the question whether he will actually be a good ruckman to have next year. I mean, if we look at him now, he's now averaging 81 for the year. And yeah, he's looking all right. And if you look at his last three, he's averaging 100, last five, 95. Can he step that up another gear and get towards that like 100 range, or whether or not he won't, whether or not he was impacted by other ruckmen, we'll have to wait and see. But he looks like a fancy friendly ruckman, to be fair. So we'll just have to wait and see with what he has. But I don't know if he has enough growth in him. Obviously being priced at what will be around that 700k mark, I would guess, next year. Whether that would be at the moment, and obviously that will rise, whether you want to take a guess on him at like 750k or not. Duggan 113. He just came alive in the fourth quarter, and I don't think I'll be getting him just because I'm pretty solid with the other guys, and it would take probably him getting midfield status to even warrant trying to get him. Also, probably not actually, but I just don't think I can do that at the moment with him, as he is averaging 110 or something, but there is that 60 game that I'm just worried about a little bit, and with players returning, whether he gets that rollback. Luke Shuey is huge in the first quarter, ended up with I think 7 tackles in the first or something, and yeah, just absolutely ridiculous quarter, and sort of carried that on, that momentum a little bit, fell away a little bit, but used it to get to the 109. Sheed 107 was absolutely ridiculous in the third, and yeah, just sort of had a ridiculous quarter here. Then we have Cripps ended up on the ton just because of a good second half of 60. Barras 93. Just a good all-round first three quarters, and then an 18 in the last sort of fell away a little bit, but got the job done, I guess. Petrocelli 83, Gaff 83, Hunt 78. He's starting to drop in cash. Marek 71, so he was absolutely huge. He did end up kicking 2 goals in the end, so shown that he can score really well. I'm just a little bit worried about that 273k price at the moment now, rather than, and that he only had 13 touches in the end. So just a little bit of worry, a little bit, but I don't think it's going to be too bad. They play Brisbane, which I think he'll struggle. Then they come up against a good run, so maybe you could look at other guys, but other West Coast guys, but I think you have to give him a miss. Then you have Noah Long, he's 71. I was really glad that he made 71, as his break even now, I believe, is in 28 or so. If I look at Long here, Noah Long, 28 break even, as I said, and that will really help, hopefully, with some cash gem, because if he can get over 400k, I was expecting him to honestly drop below 300k, so an extra 100k from him will enable me in a couple rounds to potentially go and get someone big, but we'll have to wait and see with that. But I think next round I should be able to get potentially Sicily in or something like that, but also being able to get in Sicily the week later off the back of hopefully off the back of the likes of maybe a Sheldrick or something like that if needed, or off the back of a Noah Long, who will combine with Darcy Cameron up to Sicily, will be huge, as I'll flip Himmelberg into the forward line and use him at that F6 role. But we'll have to wait and see with that. And then, so that's pretty, and then obviously you've got Hewitt and then Chesser 61. That's absolutely huge for his break even as well. So just really happy that with Chesser here, if we look here, Chesser 23 break even, so hopefully he's not sub anymore and can use that break even to climb a little bit, as he is now 314k. So he did climb 23k, so hopefully he can use that as well. And then no one else really to talk about from West Coast. Then we move over to St Kilda, and it was the Brad Crouch show, and I'm pretty lucky that I did have the VC, I mean not the VC, the captain on him, as I missed the Dawson one, and Dawson got 136, so as many as a tweet from me, so I did go viral. I did beat the Dawson captainers by 1 point, so I gained a singular point on them. I think that, what's that tweet now at? 36 likes or something like that, and for 3,000 impressions or something, so that was a tweet that went viral for me, I guess, in terms of me. And then you've got Marshall here, 130. He would have been a safe captain. I just thought Crouch wasn't going to get subbed out, I didn't think, against West Coast, whereas I thought Marshall being the only ruck for St Kilda was probably a sub risk, but in the end it was a really competitive game, so they couldn't sub him out, and Battle also did get concussed, so they couldn't use the sub there as well. And yeah, Marshall, 30 points, 26 as a low was really good, just seeing that, as that's a 104 at a minimum. And yeah, just ended up with a 130 in the huge game. I think Crouch was on track at 1 point for the tackles record. It was like around here that I think he registered his like last tackle somewhere here. He was on, I think, 17 at 1 point. Or no, he was on 15, I think, here or something, as he ended up on 17. Or no, he was on 14, sorry, here. And I thought at the 15-minute mark he's going to get it at, but he just sort of waned away a little bit. He was on the cards, honestly, for like a 160 or something ridiculous, and that would have just put to bed all the Dawson people, as I would have gained like 20, 25 points back on them. So yeah, I'm really, really happy with him, and now he's jumped up, I think, on my, he's jumped or held rank, I think. I think he held rank, or even jumped up from the last round where he was M6 last round, so he did jump up one place, and was just really happy to have him in my side, and looks really primed to go big. Sinclair 101, he ended up having a really good second half to get there, and just really happy, as it didn't seem like he was really on, but got the 101 in the end, and that's all you need from really defenders. Wood did all right. Wangadeen Malira 93, capitalised on in the last quarter. Wangadeen Malira to really boss the game. Howard, Gresham, Steele again an 87, another sort of down week, and just not good enough for a premium, to be honest with you. He will look good next year when he's priced at like 92 or something like that, and he has the preseason to be able to get rid of all the problems, and I think he'll be that type of guy that priced around that 820, 830k will be primed to go huge. Wilkie, King, Windhager 77. I think he could be the type of guy next year that we look at priced around that 500k mid price, so that goes absolutely huge, as I really like the role that he's been sort of getting, and I think it will only expand a little bit. Owies, Webster, Butler, Ross, Camaminti, Hill. Hill did look like he done his ACL, but I don't know what the exact damage was. I haven't looked at any of the injury reports or anything, but it did look really bad looking at it. But he somehow came back on, it looks like, and ended up with a 1 point last quarter. As you can see, he sort of did it, I think, early in the last. And then Philippou, he struggled as well, so he's dropping in cash. Higgins, Stocker, and then Battle as well. So yeah, that's the review of the last game of the round between West Coast and St Kilda. Yes, it is a little bit delayed getting out to you, as I had some other commitments to do, etc. But hopefully Thursday and Friday I get out them on more timely. Wednesday and Thursday they come out more timely, and yeah. So that's the video, and I'll see you guys in the round review, I think is the next one. Thanks, guys. Goodbye.